It started with rules that made no sense. One morning they put checkpoints at every exit of our town. Green signs that used to announce church services and pancake breakfasts got covered by banners. Stay inside. National Guard trucks blocked the way out like they were expecting an invasion, but it was just us, the same families who traded casseroles and borrowed lawnmowers. I stood on my front porch in dirty sweats, holding my third cup of bad coffee, staring at a teenager with an assault rifle and acne. "For your safety," he said, not meeting my eyes. That's what they all said. But safety doesn't bleed, and we all saw the stains on their uniforms. For the first 2 days, people still tried to go to work. The hardware store owner, Mr. Stanton, got arrested for arguing at the roadblock. The mail stopped coming. By Thursday, there were sirens at night, and I kept seeing flashes in the distance, maybe gunfire, maybe not. The old man across the street, Eddie, who used to mow his lawn at dawn just to piss everyone off, disappeared after a wellness check from 2 men in black body armor. We didn't see him again, but his porch light stayed on all night. My girlfriend Riley started taping up the windows and talking about filling the bathtub in case the water stopped. I told her to calm down, but the tremor in her hand said she was right. Friday morning, everyone's phone went dead at 9:03 a.m. on the dot. No bars, no Wi-Fi. I heard a crash down the block and saw the Johnson twins running, but nobody talked to each other. Drones started flying low over our street, buzzing like mutant bees. My neighbor, Mrs. Alvarez, knocked on our door and whispered, "It's containment." My cousin works for the city. He said, "Don't trust the food drops." I didn't know what to believe, but when Riley caught me staring too long at the sky, she said, "We have to be ready, not just for them, for everybody." That night, I watched through the blinds as a man walked down the center of the street like nothing was wrong. His shirt was torn, but he didn't seem scared. He kept yelling about how they couldn't keep us locked up. I almost opened the door, but Riley pulled me back. Within seconds, 2 soldiers tackled him, their boots crunching on broken glass. He screamed until one of them jabbed a needle into his neck. They dragged him away, leaving a red trail. Nobody on the block did a damn thing. After, Riley wouldn't let go of my hand for hours. Over the weekend, the neighborhood got quiet. No car engines, no music. You could hear birds fighting over scraps in the alley. People covered their windows. Someone smashed the camera on the streetlight outside our house. Riley found an old baseball bat and kept it under the bed. She started teaching me how to swing it, fast and hard. "You don't wait for them to break in," she said. "You act first." It's strange what you get used to. The new rules, the fear, the silence, the faces of people you've known all your life, now just shadows behind curtains. Riley and I started sleeping in shifts, one of us always awake. We didn't talk much, but when we did, it was about escape plans, who we could trust, who we couldn't. She taught me how to break down a door, how to fight dirty, how to stay alive. Our neighbors stopped waving. I think about the first time I met Riley, how her laugh made me believe in good things. Now, all I believe is what she told me last night. Do not trust your neighbors, not now, not ever. They came at night, and not even the army could stop them. Midnight was when everything changed. The first time, I heard glass shattering 3 houses down, followed by a scream so sharp it made me drop the mug in my hand. Riley was already up, baseball bat gripped tight. We killed the lights and crouched by the window, breathing through our shirts to muffle the sound. In the dark, you could hear footsteps, heavy and wrong, like boots stuffed with gravel. Sometimes, though, there were no screams, just the thud of a door and silence. It was worse when people didn't scream. Next morning, nobody talked about what happened, but Mrs. Alvarez's curtains stayed drawn, and her car was gone. The army put up more barricades, but their faces looked scared now, too. They didn't come to our doors anymore. Instead, drones zipped back and forth all day, dropping leaflets that said, "Stay calm. Do not trust anyone outside your home. Do not open your door for anyone." We stopped following rules. We covered the windows with blankets and trash bags. We took turns watching the street with binoculars. Riley taught me how to use a knife, how to grip, how to stab, how to not let go. My hand shook, but hers didn't. Someone, somewhere, started sabotaging the cameras and motion sensors. You could hear shouts at night, the sound of things breaking, then nothing. Our world shrank to the four walls of our living room. I learned the difference between regular footsteps and something dragging, scraping, testing the door. One night, our neighbor's house lit up with flashlights, people running through the back gate, grabbing what they could, not even bothering to close the door. The youngest kid, Tyler, ran into the street barefoot. He looked at us, desperate, but his dad grabbed him and they kept running. I wanted to help. Riley pulled me back so hard I nearly fell over. "If you go out there, you die with them," she hissed. "You save yourself, and me. That's it." After that, Riley found a way into the old storm drain behind our yard. We started exploring at night, crawling through mud and garbage, learning the tunnels under the city. They weren't empty. Sometimes you'd hear voices echoing, sometimes human, sometimes not. We found a group living in an old subway platform, sleeping on plastic tarps and burning whatever they could find. They didn't trust us at first, but one of them, a teenager with purple hair and too many piercings, taught Riley how to break into locked rooms and hack radios. We started spending more time down there than above. That's when the memories got strange. One night in the tunnels, I saw my sister Lisa sitting against the wall like she'd just finished a long run. She died in a car crash 5 years ago. But here she was, wearing her favorite red hoodie, eating a can of beans and laughing like nothing happened. I froze, thinking it was a trick, but Riley didn't see her. The next night, Lisa was gone. But then Riley started asking me weird questions, things she should know, like where we first met or what my dog's name was as a kid. She kept smiling, even when I didn't answer. A fake smile, too wide. The worst part was, the others in the tunnel started acting strange too. They'd forget names, forget what day it was. One guy claimed he remembered escaping with his whole family, but then his wife showed up 2 days later saying she'd never seen him before in her life. People started arguing, getting paranoid. I heard a rumor the infection wasn't in the blood, it was in the mind. It came through words, stories, memories. Some said if you listened to the wrong person for too long, you'd forget who you were, forget what mattered, forget who to trust. One morning, Riley called me by the wrong name. She laughed it off, but her smile was just teeth. I kept telling myself it was stress, but I stopped sleeping. I stopped talking. Sometimes I wondered if she was the same Riley, or if I was the same person anymore. You reach a point where survival isn't enough. Something inside you wants to fight back, even if it kills you. That urge burned through me the day we found out what was really happening. Riley and I were in the subway tunnels with the group when the broadcast started. The old man who ran the radio, Sam, somehow hacked the Army's emergency channel. His voice boomed out in every abandoned train car and static-covered speaker. "They're lying to us. The city's lost. Trust no one." Within minutes, there were people everywhere. Survivors pouring out from under buildings, from basements, from boarded-up apartments. Sam's message kept looping. "They're not sick. They're changed. Don't listen. Don't let them talk." Suddenly, it all clicked. The missing people, the strange smiles, the gaps in memory. Riley grabbed my hand and we ran, following the mob as it surged toward the surface. That night, we set the city on fire. A real fire, lighting up the sky. Survivors, angry and terrified, firebombed Army checkpoints. We smashed the doors to makeshift prisons and pulled out men and women who barely remembered their names. Riley hijacked a military van and blasted the truth on its loudspeaker. Sam got us into the main tower, the city's comms hub. There were casualties. The kid with purple hair went down trying to unlock the roof gate. I saw a parent shot in front of his kid. Not numbers, names. It was chaos, but it felt like taking back a piece of ourselves. Sam got to the top of the tower, wired up the radio, and sent a signal out to whoever was left beyond the city. I heard his voice, raw with pain and rage, cutting through the gunfire. "You have to fight. The monsters aren't outside. They're in our heads. Don't trust anyone who smiles when they shouldn't. Burn it all if you have to." We held that tower for hours, maybe longer. Bullets, screams, the smell of burning plastic. I saw Riley get hit, but she kept moving, kept swinging, her hands covered in blood that might have been hers or someone else's. Sam's broadcast started breaking up, gunshots, static, someone yelling to cut the power. We lost people, good people. I thought about leaving, but Riley looked at me with clear eyes, my Riley, and said, "If we run, we're just next. We make them remember." As dawn broke, we watched the city burn from the roof. People huddled together, faces lit by orange fire and the weird gray hope of survival. The army pulled back, leaving the city to itself. The monsters were still out there, but so were we. Scarred, changed, but not broken. Someone started chanting. Others joined in. A new leader rose, a woman who'd lost her whole family but kept fighting. She pointed at me, then at Riley and said, "You helped us remember who we are. Now we fight for that." I don't know what comes next. I only know I'll never trust a neighbor, or anyone, just because they smile or say the right words. That was the last lesson the outbreak taught us. If you made it this far, you know the truth. In a world like this, survival is about more than fighting monsters. It's about remembering who you are and who you can't afford to trust. Subscribe to Dark Whispers for more real horror. Your neighbor might be watching, but at least here, you know you're not alone.